Hello, my name is Jay and I'm with Bite Size Coins, and today I'm going to go over a couple of articles in the news. As most people know, today the market is down. It has been going down for a while, and I figured I'd comb through some of the news and see what I can come up with as possible contributing factors. All right, we'll go to Forbes first. I'm not a huge fan of Forbes. I'm not, this is kind of a FUD sort of article, but we're going to read it anyway because it's important to know information regardless. All right, so we're going to talk about the story. Crypto markets crash again after DOJ seizes 2.3 million Bitcoin ransom. Top line. After regulatory concerns in China crashed the market last month, cryptocurrencies plummeted again Tuesday morning after the Department of Justice said it seized 2.3 million in Bitcoin as part of its investigation into a ransomware attack that shut down the nation's largest gas pipeline, fueling concerns U.S. officials could ramp up their crypto oversight, something that's helped spark a years-long bear market before. Key facts. As of 9:45 a.m. EDT, the global crypto market has plummeted more than 11% over the past 24 hours, falling below 1.5 trillion to its lowest point since a flash crash in May. Pushed the market down to 1.3 trillion from an early month high above 2.5 trillion. The crash started Monday after reports surfaced that the DOJ had seized an unspecified amount of cryptocurrency related to the May 8th cyber attack on Colonial Pipeline and intensified overnight, wiping out more than 150 billion in market value by 9:45 a.m. The DOJ said Tuesday it seized 63.7 bitcoins. Oh my goodness, look at all that. Worth approximately 2.3 million Tuesday from extortionists belonging to the online hacking ring DarkSide by reviewing Bitcoin's public ledger, locating the transaction, and using a private key to access the token. As a quick side note, I've seen this argument in the past before, right? Like cryptocurrency, it's used by these criminals and terrorists and all this stuff. You know what criminals and terrorists' number one payment form is? US dollars. So it's not really the cryptocurrency itself that allows these people to do these things. These people were doing these things before, and they'll do it afterwards, right? The U.S. dollar is the number one monetary payment for crime in the world. All right, so let's not pretend this is a Bitcoin or cryptocurrency thing. It's unclear how the DOJ obtained the private key, but experts including Dr. Nicholas Weaver, a cybersecurity professor at the University of California at Berkeley, have suggested federal officials efficiently hacked the hackers in a show of unprecedented government intervention in the cryptocurrency space. I don't know about this. The developments rocked all major tokens, with Bitcoin, Ether, and Binance Coin falling 10, 12, and 14% respectively Tuesday morning. Yeah, I don't know about this. Okay, so the DOJ. Oh, here we are. Federal officials effectively hacked the hackers. Okay, sure, whatever. More government intervention. Oh, what to watch for? More government intervention. On Sunday, two senators on the Intelligence Committee suggested lawmakers should take increased measures to regulate and trace cryptocurrencies. The only way you can begin to get on top of the pervasive ransomware problem is to develop a pattern, said Roy Blunt, Republican of... Is that Montana? I think that's Montana. Told NBC News Meet the Press, calling cryptocurrencies the ransom payment of choice for hackers, and saying lawmakers shouldn't allow cryptocurrencies to operate behind the scenes. Oh, that sounds like our government. Shame on you, Roy Blunt. Experts have long warned that heightened regulation could stunt the crypto market's rally, and the past weeks have proven that. The market crashed in mid-May after regulators in China started cracking down on the space, warning financial institutions against offering crypto services and even curbing Bitcoin mining due to concerns of excess speculation. Cryptocurrencies have struggled to recover, and just this weekend, Chinese officials started purging crypto influencer accounts on popular social media platform Weibo, citing only laws and regulations. So not which laws and regulations? I don't know. That's sort of either poorly written or poorly explained. Still, the last time regulatory concerns crashed the market by more than 80% in 2018, it managed to bounce back. The market is still up about 50% from its early 2018 peak. Also, Tuesday, 32 billion British wealth advisory Ruffer Investment told Rutgers? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Sorry. It exited its Bitcoin investment in April when prices hit an all-time high above 60. Sure, buddy. Due to heightened risk after the token's 1,100% one-year rise. Long term, we remain interested in digital assets and the role they could play in real wealth preservation, the company said. In the short term, following the sharp increase in Bitcoin price, we felt Bitcoin was exhibiting more risk. Okay. All right, so this is Jonathan Ponciano. Okay. A reporter at Forbes focusing on markets and finance. I graduated from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. What is it with Chapel Hill? I've been seeing this an awful lot. I don't know if they're hiring their alumni or what's going on here. Where I double majored in business journalism. Well, maybe you got half an education there. And economics while working there for UNC's Keenan Flagler Business School as a marketing and communications assistant. Before Forbes, I spent a summer reporting on the LA private sector for Los Angeles Business Journal and wrote about publicly traded North Carolina companies for NC North Carolina Business Newswire. Okay. Yeah, I don't trust anyone who goes to an American school about journalism. Sorry. All right, which is pretty much all of our journalists. So, all right, here we go. All right, so here's sort of a strange side, okay? China aims to have the world's most advanced blockchain tech by 2025. All right, let's read it and I'll talk about it a little bit here. In a move contrasting its stance on cryptocurrencies, China has issued guidelines for blockchain development within the country. China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology and the Office of Central Cyberspace Affairs Commission jointly issued guidelines for blockchain development. They hope to promote an integration of blockchain technology into the Chinese economy and society and accelerate its promotion therein. To contextualize their guidelines, the document listed principles that will lead blockchain integration in China. First, they hope to integrate blockchain technology into key industries and fields via large-scale applications. From there, companies can independently develop the technology further, while promoting collaborative research and enhancing innovation. I'm sure that's why. However, they are also considering a more holistic approach to blockchain integration. For instance, regarding its ecological cultivation, because China seems pretty interested in that. They hope to integrate blockchain not only amongst businesses, but also promote collaboration between government, enterprises, universities, and research institutions. Finally, they also note that making sure these networks are safe and secure will be a high priority. I'm sure it will. Following the list of principles, the document stated the country's developmental goals. By 2025, China hopes to make its blockchain industry the most advanced in the world. At that point, they hope to have integrated into many areas of the economy and society. Yes, that I'm sure they are going to do. Blockchain technology will have been integrated into areas such as product traceability, data circulation, and supply chain management, and surveillance, and social credit scores. To pursue this end, China will cultivate 3 of 5 internationally competitive backbone enterprises. With an additional group of innovation-leading enterprises, they will create 3 to 5 blockchain industry development clusters. In this way, they will establish a blockchain standard, and from there, form a professional team to further develop the industry. Blockchain versus cryptocurrencies. While the Chinese government has clearly taken a favorable approach to blockchain technology, it has recently been at odds with the most prominent application. Although the country is well underway in the development of its own central bank digital currency, or CBDC, as we've talked about before at length, the government has recently introduced draconian measures against other digital currencies. Last month, the government banned banks or online payment channels from offering clients any services involving cryptocurrency. This hit Bitcoin's struggling price spiraling down even further. This was only exacerbated by the subsequent announcement that the government would also be cracking down on crypto mining operations. China certainly sees potential in blockchain technologies, but seeks to harness it for itself and limit its decentralized capacities. That's exactly what they're going to do. Okay, well, we talked about this a little bit before, and this sort of further solidifies my point on this. Basically, what China's going to want to do is they're going to want to crack down on the legitimate, decentralized, limited cryptocurrencies, and they're just going to take the blockchain and probably use it to further their authoritarian state, right? The CCP can track everything through a blockchain, right? If it's integrated into all the purchases in its economy, then they can track what every person purchases. But first, they're going to want to get rid of the decentralized cryptocurrencies. So this is something to be very, very watchful of. Look, blockchain technology is here to stay. And just like, nuclear technology, or really any technology, it exists that you can do good with it and that you can do evil with it, right? Like, you could create nuclear power, which is a much cheaper and cleaner energy source, or, at least I think. Or you can make a nuclear bomb out of it, right? It's not the technology itself; it's how human beings use it. And authoritarian governments would love to get on board with stuff like this. All right, that's why they want their own central bank digital currency, and that's why they want to get rid of the others, or maybe not get rid of, but they want to limit it. They want to stunt it. They want to ultimately have it go away and be replaced by their completely trackable surveillance coin. Okay, so maybe I should, start naming this something different. But whatever. It frustrates me. I'm sure you can tell that. All right, so we're going to go to this last one. This is sort of, at least it's better news. Okay, El Salvador president says bill to make Bitcoin legal tender is simple, short, and sweet. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. I have to give credit to the people who write these articles because they're the ones who sat down and took the time. Okay, Nicholas Pongratz. Nick is a data scientist who teaches economics and communication in Budapest, Hungary, where he received a BA in political science and economics and an MSc. I'm not really sure what that means. Probably should. Maybe it's their classification of a business degree. In business analytics from CEU. A master's, I don't know, it doesn't matter. He has been writing about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology since 2018 and is intrigued by its potential economic and political usage. He can best be described as an optimistic center-left skeptic. Okay, let's move on to the next one. El Salvador president says bill to make Bitcoin legal tender is simple, short, and sweet, by Mark Levere. I believe we have read Michael Levere's stuff before, and I think I just said Mark. It's Michael Levere. All right, we'll go over that at the end. On Monday, June 7th, El Salvador president, I'm not even going to try, provided an update on the status of the proposed bill that zaps Jack Mallers, who helped with drafting the bill, announced at Miami's Bitcoin 2021 conference last Saturday, June 5th. Welcome to the future. Hey, yeah. During his talk, an emotional Mallers, who is the founder and CEO of Zap Solutions, a Bitcoin payment startup that uses the Lightning Network, showed a recorded message from the president Bukele, and read out a small passage from the proposed bill. Mallers went on to say that his firm would be opening an innovation center in El Salvador with the help of Blockstream. Later that day, the El Salvador president went on Twitter to explain the motivation for this decision to make Bitcoin a form of legal tender in his country. Bitcoin has a market cap of $680 billion. If 1% of it's invested in El Salvador, that would increase our GDP by 25%. On the other side, Bitcoin will have 10 million potential new users and the fastest growing way to transfer $6 billion a year in remittances. This, right here, is exactly why he's doing. Oops. Oopsie. We opened that up. This is exactly why he's doing it right here. Remittances. And we'll go into that in just a second at the end of the article. He went on to say, by using Bitcoin, the amount received by more than a million low-income families increase in the equivalent of billions of dollars every year. Furthermore, 70% of El Salvador's population doesn't have a bank account and work in the information economy. Financial inclusion is not only a moral imperative, but also a way to grow the country's economy, providing access to credit, savings, investment, and secure transactions. We hope that this decision will just be the beginning in providing a space where some of the leading innovators can reimagine the future of finance, potentially helping billions around the world. The next day, the president of El Salvador gave 4 reasons why crypto investors and entrepreneurs might want to consider moving to El Salvador. Great weather, world-class surfing beaches, beachfront properties for sale, one of the few countries in the world with no property tax, no capital gain tax for Bitcoin since it will be legal currency. Well, I'm sure it won't last very long. Immediate permanent residence for crypto entrepreneurs. I wonder what qualifies you for that. I think I might move, fellas. All right, let's go on. And yesterday, he had the following update to the status of the proposed bill. The Bitcoin bill proposed that we'll send to Congress is almost ready. Simple, short, sweet. Disclaimer, the views and opinions. Okay, I'll just use this as my disclaimer too, because sure, why not? The views and opinions expressed by the author, or me, or any people mentioned in this article are informational purposes only, and they do not constitute financial investment and other advice. Investing in or trading crypto assets comes with the risk of financial loss. Look, I understand that this is tedious, and I understand, well, why would you have to put that, everywhere? It's just the way of the world, of the litigiousness of the American society, and probably a world society by now. You might come back and say, oh, well, this guy said, so I invested a bunch of money, and I lost it all, so I'm suing him. Because he, obviously was giving financial advice. Basically, we're just giving information. Okay, so you have to make up your own mind. I'm no smarter than the average person when it comes to cryptocurrency, right? Maybe I know a little bit more, but you have to do your own research, and I've stressed that before. All right, enough. I got to get off of that. Okay. This is mostly about remittances. This is basically so the people who have been flooding in through Americans' open gates and making money can easily transfer this money a lot easier. Well, okay, if they understood the technology anyway. Basically, what happens is a lot of people will come from countries like El Salvador. They'll come over and they'll cross into the United States. They'll work in the United States, and then they'll use Western Union or something to send money back to the people in the country that they are from, right? And, good on them to some degree, right? You want to take care of your mom who's back in El Salvador, or your sister, or your sister-in-law's uncle's best friend. So how do they do that? Well, they take money from the American economy and they send that over to, whatever country it is that they're going to, or their family is in. And that's what remittances are, essentially. Okay, this will make it easier for El Salvador to get remittances. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this guy actually does care about his people, and that it is a good decision because if his people don't have bank accounts, right? Once you're down on that low level, and it's been shown time and again, if you take a cryptocurrency system, then these people have the ability to basically use a bank without a bank, right? They've shown this in many African nations where people in villages who have a cell phone can transfer money to one another, or to the next nearest city for something that they need to go and pick up, and it makes it much easier for them. Plus, it's probably a lot easier to keep protected as to real assets, right? Because I don't know what the state of El Salvador is. From what I understand, it's pretty crime-ridden. I can imagine, a person with a gun who's hungry comes around and steals food or will take any money that they find in your apartment, basically taking all of your assets. Whereas if it's in the form of a cryptocurrency, it might not be as easy for them to get a hold of. They might not even know it, right? It's not going to be found in a pile somewhere unless they find you've written down somewhere where there's a password. they're not going to get your cryptocurrency, right? So there are definite benefits to cryptocurrency and the blockchain. But that's three different stories for today. I know it's kind of, you know, it's a theme, but it's a loosely connected theme. But hopefully that'll give you some information out there, traders, of some good news, some bad news. I get this strange feeling that because all the big money is starting to enter this market, that they're trying to dunk the price down low so they can buy in again before it takes off again, right? You know, you saw this in God, I think it was 2000. I think it was 2017, where basically things were starting to heat up in Bitcoin, and all of a sudden you start hearing everywhere about how they wanted to regulate the industry. And regulation may or may not be a good thing for the industry, right? If we can help people from being defrauded out of their money, that's a wonderful thing, and I think we should take steps to do that. But at the same time, I'm just a little bit worried that that's not really what they're concerned about. You know, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a side tangent here since it's the end of the video. If you've made it this far, you can either shut it off or you can listen to the rest of the tangent. How about that? I remember before we went into Libya, Gaddafi, who was actually pretty good to his people, he basically was trying to convince African states to go with him in making a gold-backed dinar, right? Basically, he was going to take the gold-backed dinar and he was going to sell oil in his own currency instead of the U.S. currency, which is the way the system works, right? If you want oil, if you want to buy and sell oil in the world today, most likely you are going to have U.S. dollars in order to buy it. That's just the way our world system works here. It all started back in Bretton Woods. I'm not going to go into all that. You can look it up or see in some of my other videos. I'm sure I've talked about Bretton Woods before. Basically, the world system is if you want to buy oil, you buy it in U.S. dollars. And Libya was trying to go against that. Well, next thing you know, Hillary Clinton was in an interview saying we saw he died, right? They killed him. And now what's happening in Libya? It's a wreck. There's slave markets there now. You know, it's unfortunate, but the central banking and the status quo of the world economy is going to be rough on Bitcoin. They're either going to try and co-op it or they're going to try and regulate it out of existence. Anyway, that's your information for today. Thanks for watching. This is Jay with Bite Size Coins, and happy day, traders.